In this exercise, we will create this animation. I'm gonna play it one more time. And we will create this using this Photoshop document. Here we have each element on a separate layer. And we will animate them one by one in After Effects. I go to After Effects, right click, import file. I go to exercise 13. I select the Photoshop document. I click on import. Now here, import kind. I'm going to choose composition and layer options, editable layer styles. I'm not going to change anything. I click on OK. And we see here we have a new composition called Starbucks. I double click and we see all the layers inside right here. I'm gonna right click on the composition settings, and I'm gonna change the duration 5 seconds only. I click on OK, and now I'm gonna start animating. I'm gonna start with the text by one. Gonna make all the others invisible, and we're gonna focus on this one. I put the playhead at 2 seconds. Press P for the position. I click on the stopwatch. I'm gonna go back by 1 second. I put the playhead right here at 1 second, and I'm gonna move the text to the right. I'm gonna press Shift like this and place it right here. Now if we play, we get this animation. I'm gonna select both these keyframes, F9 to easy ease. We get this effect, and I'm gonna add a small thing that is gonna make the animation better. I'm gonna click on the graph editor. I choose edit value and graph, not edit speed and graph, edit value and graph, like this. And I click here. I notice I have no handles right here. Control Z to go back. To move the handles of the graph, I need to do one thing. I right click on the position, and I'm gonna click on separate dimensions. Now we have the X and the Y separated. Now I'm gonna click on this graph, and I'm gonna click on this handle, put it a little bit down like this, and I'm gonna leave it right here. Now notice the text goes a little bit beyond where it should be and then comes back. I'm gonna play it. You notice the X value goes a little bit beyond where it needs to be and then comes back right here. I play. This is a cool effect. I'm gonna leave this, the graph editor. I click. I place the playhead right here. I'm gonna animate cap 1 now. I'm gonna press R, or let me put it right here at 1 second. I click on the stopwatch. I create one keyframe here. I go to 2 seconds and I click here. I'm gonna type 1. I'm gonna make the cup make 1 rotation like this, but we have a problem. I need to change the anchor point from here to here. So to do that, I'm gonna use the anchor point tool, and I'm gonna put the anchor point right here. Now this is a good rotation. I'm gonna select both these keyframes, F9 to easy ease, and I'm gonna go to the graph editor, make sure it's edit value graph. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take this handle and take it a little bit up like this. Now the cup will rotate a little bit beyond where it should be and then comes back. This is a very cool effect. I think this looks good. J to go back. I'm gonna press K, place the playhead right here. I'm gonna bring the scale, Shift and S. I bring the scale. I click on the stopwatch, J. I come back to this position and I click here. I type 0. Now we get this effect, the scale and the rotation. I'm gonna move to the second cup, cup 2. Make it visible like this. I'm gonna place the playhead right here at 3 seconds. Press P. I'm gonna do the same thing. Right click. I'm gonna separate dimensions. I'm gonna click on the stopwatch here. I go back in time, 2 seconds, and I'm gonna V selection tool. I'm gonna move the cup from here to here. I press Shift. That way it stays on the same line like this. I let go, and now we have this animation. I'm gonna select keyframes, F9, easy ease. I go to the graph editor. I select the X value. I click on this point and I'm gonna move the handle like this. I move it down. That way it goes a little bit beyond where it should be and then comes back like this. I'm gonna move the handle a little bit more like this. I think this looks good. I go back. I press J. I'm gonna click on the second text. I'm gonna bring it 3-1. I'm gonna press S. I bring the scale. I click on the stopwatch. I go back right here at 2 seconds and I click here. I type 0% scale and now the text scales up, but we have a problem. The text is scaling from here, from the anchor point. That's not what we want. Make sure it's selected. I click on the anchor point tool and I'm gonna make the anchor point right here. Now it scales the right way. I'm gonna select both these keyframes, F9, easy ease. I'm gonna go to the graph editor. Of course, make sure edit value graph, not edit speed graph. I click on this point and I'm gonna move the handle a little bit up like this. That way it goes a little bit beyond where it should be and then comes back. Let me play it. I think this looks good. Gonna move it a little bit like this. Let's see what we get. I think this looks good. Now I'm gonna play the entire animation. And now the exercise is finished. You go do the same and don't forget to save.